Overthinking is not a sign that you are smart. I know that is what you have been told your whole life, but it is not true. It is proof that you are using the wrong part of your brain for almost every decision. The part built for danger has quietly taken over the part built for choosing. You think more and more, hoping that one more lap around the same thought will finally make you feel safe. But the safety never comes. In fact, the more you think, the less sure you feel. By the end, you are not closer to an answer. You are just more tired. You read a simple text message 10 times before you send it. You change one word, then change it back, searching for a version that feels completely safe. You leave a conversation and replay every word you said. You wonder if you talk too much or too little, or if that one pause meant something. You lie in bed at night, running through things that already happened, things you cannot change, picking at old moments like they are still alive. And then you imagine 5 different versions of a future that has not even arrived, rehearsing conversations with people who are fast asleep. From the outside, people call you careful, thoughtful, deep. They think this is just who you are, but inside, it does not feel deep. It feels like a machine that simply will not switch off, even when you are exhausted and begging it to. And here is the truth. Most overthinkers go their whole lives without ever hearing. You're not thinking to find an answer. You're thinking to stop feeling afraid. The thinking is not the problem you are solving. It is the blanket you're hiding under. Once you really see that, you can never unsee it. It changes how you hear your own mind. So let's go deeper. Layer by layer. Real analysis has an ending. It gathers what it needs, reaches a decision, and then it stops. It lets go. Overthinking does not end. It loops around and around, returning to the same thought as if this time it might land differently, because its real goal was never to decide. Its goal was to feel certain. And those two things are not the same at all. And certainty is something the human mind can never fully reach. There is always one more what if waiting just past the last one. So, the loop keeps running, hunting for a feeling, not a fact. And a feeling can never be reached by adding more facts. Each lap of the loop gives a tiny hit of relief. Maybe I've got it now. For a second, the tension eases and you feel like you are finally getting somewhere. Then, the doubt creeps back in, quietly, and the whole loop starts again from the top. That brief relief is exactly what keeps you trapped. This is the trap, and it is a clever one. The relief is real, but it is temporary, so you keep coming back for the next dose. So, your brain quietly learns a lesson. When I feel scared, more thinking makes the fear back off just for a moment. So it reaches for thinking every time. But notice what is really happening. You are not actually solving the problem in front of you. The problem sits there, untouched. You're only soothing the fear of getting it wrong. The thinking is not aimed at the problem. It is aimed at the panic. Think about the last big decision you truly got stuck on. Picture it for a second. I am willing to bet that more information did not make it easier. Past a certain point, it usually made it harder, not clearer. That is the first clear sign you are looping, not analyzing. Useful thinking narrows your options. Looping just multiplies them. Analysis moves you forward. Looping keeps you spinning in the same spot, just with more sweat. Hold on to that difference. Now, why does the brain ever confuse the two? That is the next layer. Here's the quiet thing your brain is doing without telling you. Quietly, without ever asking you, it treats thinking as a form of control over a world that does not actually obey your thoughts. The hidden logic goes like this. If I think about every possible outcome in advance, then maybe nothing can ever surprise me or hurt me. If I prepare for every disaster, maybe I can stop it from happening before it ever reaches me. It feels like insurance against pain, so thinking feels productive. It feels like you are doing something useful, like you are working on the problem, even when you are perfectly still. But here is the catch. You are not changing the world out there at all. You are only rehearsing it over and over inside your own head. Meanwhile, your body does not get the memo that nothing is actually happening. It stays tense, ready, and constantly scanning for the threat. And the brain quietly learns one simple rule. Thinking equals staying safe, so it does more of it. And more. And more. The habit grows stronger every single time you obey it. This is exactly why you cannot just stop overthinking on command, no matter how many times people tell you to. Deep down, your brain believes the thinking is the very thing keeping you alive. To it, stopping does not feel like rest. It feels dangerous. Asking it to stop feels, to your nervous system, like asking it to let go of the rope. So, the goal is not to fight the thinking or shame yourself for it. The goal is to understand what it is so desperately trying to protect. And to find that, we have to go back further than you might think, because the loop you run today as a capable adult very often started a long time ago, when you were small and the world felt unpredictable. Many overthinkers grew up having to read the room before they could even read a book. Safety depended on noticing every small shift around them. Maybe a parent's mood could change without warning. 1 minute calm, the next minute cold or angry, and you never quite knew which was coming. So you learned to watch closely, to predict, to prepare for whatever might come, so that nothing could ever catch you off guard again. Back then, thinking ahead was not a personality trait or a flaw. It was protection. It was how a small person stayed safe in a big, uncertain world. And here is the important part. It worked. Back then, staying one step ahead really did keep you safe. Your mind has not forgotten that. But here is the part almost no one ever tells you. Your overthinking is not really about the future at all, even though it feels like it is. The future is just the screen it gets projected onto. It is a child's old survival strategy, still quietly running in the background of an adult's life, long after that child grew up and got safe. You are not really trying to solve tomorrow. Tomorrow is not even here yet. You are trying to finally feel the safety you did not have back then. Read that again. The fear is old. The danger, most of the time, is not here anymore. Your mind is sounding an alarm for a fire that went out years ago. Your mind is not broken. It is loyal. It is just running on very old instructions that nobody ever updated. It is still protecting the child you were. And once you truly understand that, the goal stops being make it stop and starts being help it feel safe. That shift changes everything. But first, let's be honest about what this old habit is costing you now. This old strategy has a real price, and you pay it every single day. First, decision fatigue. When every choice gets the full investigation, even tiny ones like what to eat or what to reply start to feel exhausting. Second, you delay, not from laziness, but from fear of the wrong move. So you wait, and the waiting itself quietly becomes a choice you never meant to make. Third, you miss real moments. While they are happening, you're already 3 steps ahead in your mind, planning, bracing, never fully here. You are physically here, but mentally you are always somewhere else. And you feel tired in a way that sleep does not seem to fix, because the rest your body needs is mental, not physical, because part of you never actually clocks out. It works the night shift. And here is the cruelest part of all. All that thinking, all those hours, rarely makes the actual outcome any better. The future arrives the same whether you worried about it or not. It just makes the waiting more painful. The result is often the same. So if thinking harder is not the answer, what is? Let's talk about the way out. The way out is not thinking harder, and it is not forcing your mind to go quiet. The real way out is slower and kinder. It is teaching your brain, little by little, that it can survive not knowing, that it can trust uncertainty. Not every open question is a threat. Some are just open questions waiting patiently with no teeth and no danger behind them at all. So start small. Make one tiny low-stakes decision and then refuse to replay it afterward. Choose and let it be chosen. Notice the discomfort that rises, that itch to go back and check. Let it be there. Do not rush to fix it. Just watch it slowly fade on its own. Each time you survive not knowing, and you always do, the loop loses a little of its power over you. You are quietly rewriting the old rule. With every small repetition, you are showing your nervous system something it never got to learn before. something brand new, a simple, radical message. I can be unsure and still be completely okay. I do not need to know everything to be safe right now. Certainty was never really the goal, safety was. And safety can be built in another way, a kinder, quieter way that does not cost you every waking hour and every night of sleep. Not by controlling everything outside, but by reassuring the part inside that is still afraid. So, let's come back to where we started, but with new eyes this time. Your overthinking was never your enemy, even on the nights it kept you wide awake. It was a younger version of you, doing its absolute best, with the only tool it had to keep you safe in a world that once felt unsafe. You can thank it and gently tell it that you have got this now. You do not have to be certain to move forward. You never did. Certainty was a price that was never really required. You only have to be willing to be a little bit unsure and take the next step anyway, before you feel ready. So here's my question for you, and I really do want you to sit with it and answer it honestly. If you no longer needed to feel certain, what would you decide to do today? Tell me in the comments. And if this felt familiar, you are not alone here. Take a breath, and I'll see you in the next one.